Hi, welcome back to Beautifully Bookish Bethany, where I have new videos every week about books and the geeky mom lifestyle. Right now in America, we are facing a lot of racialized violence and protests. There's a lot happening in the world, and in solidarity with the Black community and in hopes of raising up the voices of Black creators and Black authors, I'm beginning a new video series today. Each video will focus on a specific genre, and I will give you 5 book recommendations by Black authors that I think are well worth your time, as well as 5 Black booktubers who review books in that genre. I'm hoping that in some small way this will help to focus attention on voices that need to be heard right now and shine a light on authors and creators who are doing incredible work. And for those of you who want to support Black authors and creators but aren't always sure where to start, hopefully this will be a good jumping off point and can point you in the direction of books in genres that you know are going to work for you. In today's video, I'm going to be recommending to you 5 romance novels by Black authors and 5 Black booktubers who review books in the romance genre. Stay tuned. So the way I'm going to do this is by alternating. I'm going to give you a book recommendation, and then I'm going to give you a booktuber who you might want to go and follow. My first book recommendation is a personal favorite by an author that I absolutely love. This is A Duke by Default by Alyssa Cole. Alyssa Cole writes incredible romances, but what I think makes her stand out is her ability to include substantive content and thoughtful themes in her books, as well as a swoony and steamy romance novel. A Duke by Default is one of my favorites from her, but honestly, this entire Reluctant Royals series is well worth your time. This is a very slow burn antipathy to love romance between a Black woman and a Scottish swordmaker. There's lots of great banter. It's set in Scotland. There are swords. I mean, what more could you ask for? It's fantastic. The first booktuber I want to recommend is a friend of mine and someone who creates fantastic content that I love. This is Bree Hill. She's former US military, currently working on a degree, a blogger, and a mom. And she reads almost entirely romance. I love Bree. I think she is wonderful. I think the content she puts out is great, and I definitely recommend you check her out. My next book recommendation for you is Rafe, A Buff Male Nanny by Rebecca Weatherspoon. If you like cinnamon roll heroes, then this book is totally for you. You just are gonna wanna wrap up Rafe and take him home because he is the sweetest. This is an interracial romance that follows a single mom with twin daughters who has a very successful job as a surgeon. When she suddenly is in need of emergency childcare, Rafe steps in to become a short-term nanny, and sparks begin to fly. If you're concerned about power dynamics or consent issues, I think that they are actually handled very, very well in this book, but do be forewarned, this is very steamy, but I really loved it. And if you like a good cinnamon roll hero, this is definitely one to check out. The next booktuber I want to recommend is Steph from Steph's Romance Book Talk. Steph is truly the queen of romance reviewing. Her channel has been around for a long time and she reads at an incredible rate. She's one of the few people on BookTube who I know reads more books than I do, and I read a lot, but she reads almost exclusively romance with a pretty strong focus on contemporary romance, but with a little bit of other things mixed in as well. My next book recommendation is one of my favorite books that I have read in 2020. This is Tempest by Beverly Jenkins. If you haven't read anything by Beverly Jenkins yet, do yourself a favor and pick up one of her books. Her historical romances are absolutely incredible, and they also offer you a serious history lesson. She does a ton of research and focuses on the history of people of color in places and times that are often not taught about in school. I definitely recommend checking her books out, and Tempest may be my favorite that I've read from her so far. It has a fierce and sassy heroine, a nerdy and quiet hero, and it's a slow burn romance set in the American Old West. I kind of loved everything about this. My next booktuber recommendation is another friend. This is Brandy from Brandy Janine's Bookshelf. She does read pretty widely. She also reads paranormal, she reads some YA fantasy, but she reads quite a lot of romance, and I always like hearing her thoughts on books. I know this year has been a little stressful and she hasn't been filming as many videos, so I would love to see her come back to YouTube and start to do more because I think she has a lot to add to the community, but I would still recommend you go check out her content, check out her videos. She's really lovely and has a lot of great reviews of love romance books. My next recommendation is one that I haven't really heard a lot of people talking about, but I loved it. And if you like juicy family drama, this is a great book for you. This is Forbidden Promises by Cynthia Williams. It follows an elite Black family in the South and a kind of taboo romance between a woman and her older sister's ex-husband. If that gives you pause, it's not quite what you think, but there's lots of twists and turns. There's hidden drama, juicy family secrets, politics. It's so fun and so great, and I am definitely going to be reading the next book in the series as well. My next booktuber recommendation is India from Life is a Page Turner. Again, she reads more than just romance, but a pretty significant portion of the things that she talks about are in the romance genre. She has great vlogs, she's got a side business, and does a lot of cozy kind of chatty videos. And if you're looking for somebody who reads a significant amount of romance, but also a little bit of other stuff, she's a booktuber worth checking out. And my final book recommendation for you is Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. And actually, I will say that Talia in general is a great author. So even if this isn't particularly your cup of tea and you want something a little bit juicier, you might check out some of her indie published work. I can recommend A Girl Like Her and Not That Kind of Guy as some really great options. But this is her first traditionally published book, and I think it's a really good one. She writes steamy romance with diverse casts of characters, and this book features a fat Black woman dealing with chronic pain and a kind of cinnamon roll of a redheaded white guy. It's really, really great, really sweet. I enjoyed this one quite a lot. And generally speaking, I just think she does such a great job of creating these incredible characters with diversity to them. And a lot of it is own voices. In this case, the chronic pain is own voices for the representation. And in A Girl Like Her, which is another one I really loved, our heroine is autistic and it is own voices for that as well. So Talia Hibbert in general, I would recommend checking out, but in particular, Get a Life, Chloe Brown is a great option. And my final booktuber recommendation for you today is somebody who I'm a little bit newer to. I discovered her channel when I was doing some research for this video series, and she just seems really lovely and reads quite a bit of romance. Her channel is Comfy Cozy Up. I watched a couple of her videos and really enjoyed her vibe and her personality, and look forward to watching more stuff from her channel. So go check her out as well if you're looking for a Black booktuber who reviews romance. Hopefully this video helped you find some new books to pick up and creators to check out if you haven't already. In the comments down below, I would love to hear your further recommendations of great romance novels by Black authors or of Black booktubers who review romance that you would recommend checking out. I know there's a lot more than what I've talked about here, but for these videos, I'm just talking about 5 of them. And if you're looking for additional recommendations, check the comments down below because I'm sure people will be including great ones. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.